hesitating. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Oakland Raiders. This fielded at the 2. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
And to give this time to the tailback. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. A first carry now for Jordan Howard. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive. Couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the 1st half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Out routes are always timing routes, and if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off the play. It looked like he let him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. The rookie first-rounder, Jonathan Abram, there to knock it away.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Returning it is Moore. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
After the loss to start out, here's second and 11. On second down, Jacobs. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
Here we go.
He'll drop to throw. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A pickup of 27, and they pick up the first down in the process. And that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
The extra receivers helped spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Hey, you're so right because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, whoever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and he passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Check, crunch, crunch.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
On the double. 9:55. I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you anything else.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throwing left side, it's complete. 70th catch for him on the year, and like so many others, this goes for a first down.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 42-yard line. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Ball on the 42 as they come up second and 10. Back to the running game with Jacobs. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. On first down, they go with Jacobs again. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield.
So pressure comes and the Steelers take him down. Devin Bush in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. They'll set up to throw. He is going to find Hill here. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 13-yard line. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
The linebacker, T.J. Watt, there on the coverage. So now second and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They run it with Jacobs. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say, we're going to build from the inside out. Because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone. but it's incomplete. And Elliott puts this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me.
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the 3's just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
This thrown quickly out to Jones. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. The Steelers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll drop the throw. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 47. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas,
yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A big play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Raiders have taken the lead. Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead is now 10-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down. Well, we know he's an electric runner. Earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to bottle him up at different levels. That was your suggestion. Some mixed results.
Yeah, certainly, because we have seen him bottled up at times. We've seen him playing very well. We've also seen him pop the cork a few times and get out of there, haven't we?
We have indeed. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now a man open down the middle of the field and able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 23.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
2nd and 5. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. They'll set up a throw. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 12. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Benardrick McKinney, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. This one fielded at the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. They've gone to the second quarter now in Denver. The Broncos have taken the early lead. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Well, they decided to air it out a little bit on that play, take a shot downfield, but the coverage was really nice. Able to get a hand in and tip it away.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. They're going to look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Taken in at the 11. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
On first down, they run with Howard. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Jordan Howard, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Steelers are going to retake the lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead is now 14-10. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Here's 2nd and 8. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Give them a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders. They'll look to throw here on first down. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. A gain of 6 there on first.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe they'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down. The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny? When we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
That's thrown to Smith-Schuster out wide.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a entire breakdown on what the coverage was, that everyone thought they were doing something and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
Back to throw here. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. A great return there of 22 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
They'll try and start this drive in the air. That one going to be complete to David Moore. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 14. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. On the jet sweep, here comes Moore. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll bring up a third down. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Steelers on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The Steelers on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 8. He'll look to throw. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Raiders pick it up. The 20, 10. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. So a big turn of events there. This defense makes the play. They return it for the score, and now they have the lead.
So much for ball security for the offense. Playing with a lead in the second half. They give the ball up, and all of a sudden they're behind.
Big-time fumble. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Second and 10. And he finds Tyler Croft. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything.
And the Raiders have got him. Matthew Ioannidis in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front, nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
45 to Mike, 45 to Mike.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
At their own 18-yard line.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. in for the score. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. The fly route works for the TD grab.
And you know the receivers love to say, if we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did, all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's second down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to let it fly. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, third down. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. He'll look to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that one.
They're down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds and keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blow. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
First and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Ready, 50, clear. I know he ain't got it.
They'll run on first down. It's Jacobs. And he is going to be stopped here at the line of scrimmage. And time is going to expire in this football game.